Hello, what is up guys? Evil Duo Time here today, back with another game first impressions video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Ghost of Tsushima, out exclusively for PlayStation 4. Before we even get started, if you own a PlayStation, this game is a 100% must buy, and I would recommend starting that download right now while you're watching this. Real quick though, before we get into the actual overview, if you're new to the channel and want to make sure you stay updated when more videos like this come out, please consider subscribing. Would help to grow the channel and I would greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, let's get this out of the way. Ghost of Tsushima isn't a game, it's an epic. Within the first 30 seconds of the game, the story will have you hooked. You're going to feel for the protagonist Jin throughout the entire story, and you're going to meet a whole cast of characters that will make you feel like a part of the game world. And as you get more and more engrossed in this world, hear the stories of the survivors throughout it, and live through plot twist after plot twist, you'll feel yourself role-playing as the lone samurai, hellbent on retaking your homeland by any means necessary. The game itself is an open-world adventure set on an absolutely massive and gorgeous map. I haven't timed it end to end, but if I had to guess, you're looking at well over 15 minutes of just walking it. Don't worry though, because as you explore the different areas around the world, you'll unlock fast travel points. These points can be anything from jumping puzzles to haiku poem compositions, or even hot springs where you'll see a lot more than you expected in order to boost Jin's stats. However, a large number of these points will be enemy-held territory, where you will have the opportunity to exact revenge on the forces who invaded your homeland. Each of these points will provide you a set of challenges for completion. Some will have prisoners to rescue, others will have leaders to observe, some will give you specific weapon challenges, and all reward you with experience points that you use to upgrade your killing ability. But before we get into that, let's take a look at combat. Upon first encountering enemies, whether it be in the open on the roads or in one of these encampments, you will have the opportunity to enter a standoff, where you challenge one of the enemies to a 1v1 duel of sorts. This is a game of chicken and reflexes, as you have to react just as they are attacking, or you'll end up severely chunked for health. As you progress Jin's skills, you unlock the ability to chain the standoff into 5 consecutive enemies, to the point where you can cut down entire groups of enemies before really getting into the game's actual combat. After that standoff streak is ended, or if you choose to entirely forego that route and just want to start fighting, you'll be presented with simple yet incredibly strategic combat systems. 2 buttons control strong and fast attacks, and different hold durations of these buttons create different combos. You then have 4 stances to choose from, each of which provides you an advantage versus a particular type of enemy. As you'll be surrounded by many different types of enemies, the switching stances on the fly, followed by different combinations of buttons, becomes incredibly engaging and helps to remove any boredom you might feel by just hitting a few buttons, as if you don't properly choose your stance, you'll be having a much harder time fighting. Beyond the stance system and sword combat, you have an entire range of gadgets to use, like sticky bombs, kunai, smoke bombs, explosive arrows, flaming arrows, a grappling hook, wind chimes, poison wind chimes, firecrackers, and more that I could not list in a single run-on sentence. Implementing these tools can help you to get out of sticky situations, clear entire camps in seconds, or in case of the bow, offers an entirely different playstyle that can be used to clear the super majority of the game. And if that wasn't enough for you, beyond archery and swordplay, you can choose to play the game as a ninja rather than a samurai, striking from the shadows, clearing entire camps unseen. Of course, you can use any combination and permutation of these 3 playstyles, and you'll likely find yourself switching between them as you progress based on the situation. But to cover the combat system in short, it feels like a combination of like Assassin's Creed, Shadow of Mordor, and The Witcher if you've played any of those 3 games. Now as you progress through the game's myriad of main and side story content, you're going to unlock new skills, new techniques, armors, charms, all sorts of cool things. So these charms and armors will allow you to further specialize your build, and you can go to Reddit or just Google search away and find tons of different builds for each of those 3 main playstyles we already discussed, or even hybrid types of builds. So I'm not going to go too crazy about this system, other than the fact that you should know that there is a pretty in-depth and dynamic build system in this game, and that you can spend a ton of your life messing around with it. As far as story content itself goes though, I don't want to spoil any of it for you. Just know that it's fantastic, and beyond the occasional poor lip-syncing job, incredibly slow-paced side quest, or audio bit that sounds like it was straight up phoned in, the story is an absolute masterclass. You genuinely will feel for all of the main side story characters, and by the end of Act 2, you're going to start thinking you yourself might actually be the Ghost of Tsushima. And with that, we will conclude our overview of this game. All in all, I think this is a solid game well worth the $60 price tag. I'm over 50 hours into it, and I'm still nowhere near finishing all the story content that this game has to offer. Even if you don't have the money right now to pick this one up, when the PS5 releases later this year and this game surely gets a price drop, it will 100% be worth being a final swan song for your PS4 before you box it up. Also, do want to point out that while the game is entirely single player right now, it has been confirmed that there will be a multiplayer co-op mode releasing in the fall of 2020, so coming out very, 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 very soon. But anyway, if you did like this video and you want to see more game overviews like this one, let me know in the comment section below, and make sure to leave a like. If you have an idea for another game that I should review, let me know about that in the comments below as well. And once again, if you're not already subscribed, please consider it so you stay updated when new videos come out. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I will see you at the next live stream over on Twitch, the next YouTube video, or wherever I happen to see you. Peace.
Farewell, Ronin.